Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. My name is Lee Whetstone. I'm your host for today. Today, I'm so excited because we have Shinese B. Whoop, whoop, whoop. She is the founder of BKGirlsNightOut, and actually, she bought me a shirt. I'm so excited. Look, guys. BK Girls Night Out. I love gifts. And today I'm excited to tell her story today because she turned her love for her borough into a business. Who does that? I love it. So I'm excited about this. Are you excited to be here?
Very, very excited. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
It's no problem. And I'm actually very interested, like I said, because how did you turn your passion for your borough into a business? And why?
I turned my passion into a business. I've always been a lover of Brooklyn. I was in construction field from 2007 until 2013. And I did a lot of business with a lot of developers in Brooklyn. So I just saw a lot of the changes that were coming along. When I left the company in 2013, I was working on my master's degree, and I felt like, living here and being here, it would have been a perfect time to jump in and just, be part of one of the people that was able to really showcase what Brooklyn was about. It was a lot of people coming in, moving into the city, but did not understand the culture of the city and what it really takes to be from Brooklyn and what it means to be from Brooklyn. So I felt like jumping in was like the best thing to do, and just not, writing my own path instead of having somebody write it for me. So. And
that actually falls into my next question, because I was going to say you're a lover of fashion, food, and networking. Usually people blog about this. They have a blog on fashion, they have a blog on food, but you turned it into a whole story. So you didn't wait for any platform, you just did it in...
No, I didn't. I wanted it to be, because once again, so many people were moving into Brooklyn, and we had a lot of these fancy restaurants that were coming in here. But if you're from Brooklyn for 20 plus years, 15, 20, you know that good food already existed.
Yeah.
And one of the things is that just so cultural, you don't always have to stick to your own culture. You can move out and see other things. So I wanted to be able to showcase a lot of these restaurants, the fashion of Brooklyn, because we did create a fashion. I mean, Big Papa, Lil' Kim, everybody idolized somebody from Brooklyn. And at some point, even Aaliyah, before she moved, she was from Brooklyn. And I'm wearing it right now, in my shirt behind my back. We did those things. So just wanted to showcase what Brooklyn was all about. And I felt like if I was to say something Brooklyn, then it would have a lot of Brooklyn businesses that this was their home for how much of a years will want to jump on. And it's been happening so far.
And that's crazy, because when I saw BK Girls Night Out, I was like, yes, I'm from Brooklyn. What is this about? So how did you come up with BK Girls Night Out?
It was all about, what do I love to do? I'm not a party person. I party, but I did it a lot when I was a teenager.
And I'm happy you clarified that, because the names can be like, oh, BK Girls Night Out, woohoo, we partying.
Yeah, it's more about showcasing other things that you can do. If you don't want to go out to a party, but you want to go out to a lounge. If you don't want to, go out to a party, but you want to go out to eat. If you want to just go somewhere that you could celebrate being a female and being in a room full of, entrepreneurs, which that's what this has transformed into. It's always being able to showcase talent in another way. So just having female entrepreneurs selling hair, makeup, if they're selling jewelry, if they're speaking about something that they've been through, just having a different way for you to have a night out instead of it just being a party.
So who exactly does BK Girls Night Out serve? Because I know, yes, the name speaks for itself, but who does it serve and who can it benefit from? So who's your target market and who's
My target market have been mostly women from like about 25 on up. I've been seeing like some girls who came out before the first time we did this. They came out again and then they brought their mothers along. You know, and that was just like, because when I market it, I don't put like none of my flyers have a face on it. It's like there's no need to put a face because I'm not targeting one specific face. If you want to come in and you want to see what it's about, come in and see what it's about. If you don't feel like if it's for you, then you leave. But it's just allowing it to be open and inclusive so anybody feels like they can walk in and find something that they're gonna like. At my last event, I had like 6 women. They were probably all 65 and up. Who came in. They were like dressed in their pink and they were excited about being there, and it was so fun because I was like, this really has no age limit, no requirement. And then somebody who has their kids and they want to come out but they don't have a babysitter, they can feel okay also to bring them in because it's like very family friendly, you know. I want to make it, because I have a 13-year-old, so sometimes you'll see her at, you know, whatever event, you'll sometimes see her there. So I wanted to make the environment open where mothers can also bring their kids if they don't have a babysitter, but they also want to have a night out or a day out. So
yes, and that's the true definition of a mompreneur, guys. Okay.
Yes, I am.
As mompreneurs, we need that. And it's and I love her slogan. I was just telling her this. What is it? A Brooklyn tale
from a Brooklyn
girl, and she does amazing things like you said, showcasing other Brooklyn women on their health and beauty, whatever they focus on. They can tell it through the BK Girl Nights Out.
Yes, you know, it's Brooklyn, and I'm not leaving my city anytime soon. I've had people who come to me and they want me to take this to Manhattan and they want me to bring it, and it's like, I want to, but it has to be at the right time. Next year I plan to, you know, do some speaking engagements and connect with girls in DC and Philadelphia and Atlanta, because Brooklyn girls, we leave and we go other places. But I really want to still focus in on Brooklyn. But what has happened is that I've had girls who traveled, you know, all the way from DC to be a part of this event. Traveled all the way from Delaware to be part of this event. So, and then they want to come back. So it shows that it's making an impact, and when they come, they feel like if they're benefiting from traveling, you know, they're literally traveling the morning of, hitting the turnpikes and whatever to get here to be a part of the event. And that speaks volumes to let me know that, you know, this is a market, this is something that's, you know, impacting people and making people want to take those risks and come out just to see what, you know, what it is. So once again, I'm leaving it inclusive. So I'm not leaving Brooklyn anytime soon, but if you want to come and travel, you're more than welcome to do so.
And I know you probably touched base on this just a little bit with the other question, but who or what inspired you to tell your story? Because yes, you know, you come up with this you know, BK Girls Night Out, and you're doing this business and you showcase it because your love for your borough. But did anyone just put something, you know, just give you a push like you do it?
Well, what happens is I talk a lot. And I have some of my friends that we talk on the phone all the time, and we talk about different things. So one of my friends, we were talking one day about, she went to a clothing swap, and it was a clothing swap. She went with her co-workers who were Caucasian, and she said that this, you know, it was a really good idea. I'd seen it on Oprah before, but I was just like, clothing swap. Why not? You know, like, why not try? So I started doing it in my house. And then when it became harder for me to do it in my house, when, you know, once again, when I was working on my degree, I said, why not take it outside? So that really pushed me. And I did it, and people were like, okay, a clothing swap. They didn't really understand, because it's not something that, you know, us black girls are really going to do, like clothing swap. Some people were like,
I don't want any hand-me-downs.
Yeah, they don't want any hand-me-downs. I'm going to drop off the clothes and I'll figure something out. So that's when so I said, well, the clothing swap was one thing. And then I decided to add the vendors along with it. So my first event, I took all the risks. I paid for the spot. I did not charge the vendors. I charged the people who were coming in because they got drinks and they got food and things of that nature. But I took all the risks, and I think, it paid off. And when I did that, I was like, okay, well, this wasn't that bad. And I could go from there. And then I just had, once again, my friends who were like, you could do it on a novel level. You can start doing it more than one time a year. So they were like really pushing me to do this. And then with Instagram, it just became so easy, to start marketing yourself. And I've been in sales and marketing for about 15 years now. So I kind of understand like pre-Instagram how to, draw in a crowd and get the buy-in from people. So I've just been able to use that skill to bring in girls now, just so they could see, what it is, whether they're the vendor or if there's someone who wants to come and shop.
And this is so great. I'm like, so we already know that you're fascinated. We know what fascinates you about Brooklyn. So what about Brooklyn have you seen that you had to say, you know what, I'm going to showcase these women in their businesses. I'm going to showcase their stories. Did you see a need for that in Brooklyn?
I did see a need for that because I think there was too many infiltrators. There was too many people who were coming in and wanted to tell the story, and I was just like, they don't have to tell the story. The story was already there. We already had people who were showcasing what the Brooklyn lifestyle was about. And instead of, I love people wanting to come and be a part, and that's nothing wrong. That's what this city has always been about. That's why my parents, brought me here. But I just wanted to, a piece of the story to actually be told by someone who's seen so many of the changes and has been able to survive in Brooklyn still. I'm 33. There's parts of me that say before to leave, but then there's other parts that say stay. And this gives me more of a reason to stay because I feel like this needs to, be told, and people need to see this from someone who's seen when the Barclays wasn't there, or when the biggest thing that happened was like the McDonald's on Vanderbilt and Atlantic Avenue, and then you just like gradually started seeing the changes, like when Flatbush was like completely different, and Prospect Park had no there was no skating ring in Prospect Park, but you knew where the bike trails were. So it just felt like you needed to be able to like really say that. And then like my love for fashion, like I know sometimes I don't want to go into Macy's to find a pair of shoes to fit the right dress. I know that I could go right down Flatbush Avenue and I'll find that perfect shoe to match that dress, and it will just take that outfit to another level, and then people will be like, where you got that shoe from? So I felt like if there was much of a need for that, so that's why I use this platform to be able to do that. So when I'm not showcasing other vendors, I'm just showcasing my love for my city and whatever deals and finds that I do come into.
So how did you get into fashion? Was that always a thing of yours to want to match this with that, and how did that come about?
Well, my love for fashion was like a blend of both of my parents. My dad being like the really like savvy shopper and always wanting to have like the high-end names inside of his closet. I tell these people, and people really don't believe me. Like I remember my dad coming one time and like literally looking at all of the labels in my closet to see what they were. And I was just like, what is wrong with this man? Like, what is he doing? And then my mom always used to be like this person who, she would have like all of the really great suits, and she would find awesome deals for it. So I remember like going with her and like Black Friday years ago, before it became so popularized, she would go out on these major holidays, and she would get like these Anne Klein suits and these Sag Harbor suits, and she would get them at these ridiculous basement prices, and like just the fusions of both. So it just went from like what I saw when I was younger, and it just transformed into an adult. So it's like a lot of highs and lows in my closet, And then like recently my dad's like, when are you gonna get your Birkin bag? And I'm like,
oh God,
I'm not on that level.
Okay,
yet.
so who's worse, your parents or your daughter when it comes to fashion?
Well, funny enough, my daughter is the same sign, the same month as my father.
Oh God!
So she drives me crazy with that high kind of brand, you know. So I'm trying to incorporate the fact that you can, you know, dress with highs, but for low prices.
Yes, yes.
And that's what I'll do on my Instagram pages. I'll show people, hey, you can still be fashionable, but fashion is really not the price that you pay for something, is how you wear it, you know, how you make it stand out.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's good to invest in certain things, that I've learned from both of my parents, but it's also good to know, because both of my parents were able to purchase houses. You know, my father has like this really gorgeous house. Well, he's not in this state now, but he has a really gorgeous house. And then my mom, she was able to purchase her house also. So it's like, you're still able to, you know, dress the way you want to dress, but then you are able to save your money and put it towards other things. So,
and that's a great lesson. Now, it's not just about fashion, guys. You have to learn how to to manage and budget, and it's actually easier for women to do that. we can choose, you know, make the whole outfit look good. You know?
Yeah,
that is so true. And you're actually a foodie.
Yeah.
So we just had Thanksgiving about 3 days ago. So did you cook up a good Thanksgiving meal, or did you, you know, I guess I want to say
contribute?
Yes,
I contributed.
Okay.
I contributed because it was like, you know, my boyfriend's family who. Before he was my boyfriend, I was still going to their house to eat. You know, my best friend, that's her brother. So, I just started along like two or 3 years ago, started bringing food, and now my thing is to bring fish. So last year I made salmon, like I stuffed it with some spinach, and it was really good, and everybody was like, so you're gonna do the salmon again? But then this year I changed it up and I brought red snapper. So they loved it. The fish, you know, it went. Oh, but okay. I'm a foodie. I love food. I love cooking. I love anything artistic. So sometimes I'll post some photos on my Instagram page, and you'll see the food being displayed in a particular manner. The plates would have to, you know, fit the meal. So I'm just not going to put like pasta on a colorful plate. I'll put it on something that's white, so you'll see all the details. So, and then if I'm not cooking at home, I am going out to dine at different restaurants in the city or in Brooklyn, and you know, really getting to.
So do you like do something where, because you're a foodie, okay, like do the statistics on this? Okay, so I ate here, this is good, and you know, do you do stuff like that, or you just?
No, I just dine. But what's been happening now is that I've had different restaurants that have come to me that want me to start doing things at their restaurant. Because once again, it's that BK name. So now it's like the visibility for them to have somebody like myself come in. BK. Yeah, BK, and they're like, well, this is my home base too.
Yes, exactly.
We're a restaurant based out of Brooklyn. We want to be able to, you know, showcase. So for 2017, that's what I'll actually be doing. I'm gonna they're gonna cater some things, places at different events, or they're gonna I'm gonna host like, you know, some events there.
Okay, this is awesome. So have you networked with other fashionistas? Have you collaborated with any other businesswomen to do like put an event together, or?
Well, I had for 2016 I had a runway event. Which was really nice. I actually entitled it "Life is a Beach, so let's just runway."
That is so, what titles? I'm gonna have her come up with a title for my book. This is awesome. Yes.
Like, it's all in the marketing. So it just came out of me going on vacation. I went to Jamaica last year with my boyfriend. and a friend of mine did this cover up that was just so amazing. And even the women in Jamaica were asking me, where did you get this cover up from? And then I was just like, it's my friend, you know, she did it for me. And that just like formed my, you know, my event with the runway portion of it. So I had, you know, the mixture of the vendors, and then I invited the vendors to showcase some of their pieces. So if they were selling jewelry, they added that detail. They added the jewelry onto the women. I had a designer, someone who did wraps. She was an Indian vendor, and she did the wraps, and she gave some of the jewelry. And then I had someone who did the t-shirts. And then my friend, she did like the cover-ups for the shorts. She did the like cover-ups, or she did an amazing bathing suit. A two-piece bathing suit that another friend of mine, you know, jumped on and rocked the hell out of it at the event. So this year, this coming year for 2017, I plan to incorporate more of a runway feature. So I've reached out to a few designers that were Brooklyn based that I've been watching on Instagram, and seeing if, you know, they would come on board and, you know, just want to showcase their pieces. And it'll be like all different types, you know, whether it's from relaxed looks to like really upscale looks. So I plan to have like no more than 5 designers, and then I'll still incorporate the vendors as I go along.
This is so exciting. I'm like so good. I'm from Brooklyn, you know. So
it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And I was just about to ask you, so have you ever come across something that made you, you know, stumble across your purpose? Like, okay, you know what, this is getting a little bit too difficult. Like any obstacle that you came across, and how did you overcome it? Or, I know it's probably like 2000, but
it was last year. I actually was like ready to just give up. It was approaching, and I was marketing like my finale event. I'm done with this. I was so frustrated in the background, and once again, I have my angels around me, my friends, and they were just like, I don't know, you sure about this? So, one of my friends is a guy. He was away, and he was in California, and he called me and he said, you know, I know you've been having like some trouble with your locations, and I opened up this spot, you know, downtown. Well, he didn't open it up. He actually partnered with someone, and he was like, that can be your home base. And I was just like, I never heard of it before. But I was like, okay. So I still went into it like I was done. Yeah. You know, and my best friend, she said to me, she was just like, when I had the event, it was my Christmas event, and what was frustrating was I kept having weather problems. And I was just like, this weather is going to drive me crazy. My one in October, my 1 year anniversary, it was so cold. Like every other day was fine. And that day was cold. Of course. And I was just like, no one's going to come. People came out, but they didn't come out, you know, like how I would want them to come. And then I had some vendors who weren't too happy in the background. And then it was just like, you know, this is what happens when you're running your own business. And then the one in December when I did it was, everyone knows last year December was hot. You know, it was like one of those weird Decembers, unheard of. But the day that I did my event, it was freezing cold. And I was like, you can't be kidding me. Like, how does this happen back to back? So I was so ready at that moment to just throw in the towels. And my friend was like, you should think about this. This is a really great area. It's on Flatbush. It's, you know, in Park Slopes. The bus stops in front of it. Like, the train is right up the block from Barclays Center. She's like, you should think about that. And I was just like, all right, I'll think about it. And then I was just like, you know, thought already. Regardless of what I went through, I said, you know what, let me push ahead. So that's when I had my other event there, the Runway event. And it was packed from front to back. And I was just like, what if I had given up? So, you know, there's days, but then you just remind yourself that that's the way of the business. It's going to be some highs and it's going to be some lows. So You just have to remember why you're doing it and push forward with it.
So how do you keep yourself motivated? Because I know, yeah, you have your friends, and but a lot of people don't have the support system you have. So sometimes, do you find yourself sometimes having to use self-motivation? Like, how do you keep yourself?
I keep myself motivated by the pouring of love that I get from people. Not only my friends, but I also get people that I've never met before who will just inbox me and tell me certain things, or people who have questions and inbox me and ask me certain things, and I'm just like, oh, you're watching me, you're paying attention to me. Like,
people are always watching.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm talking about, like, on a scale, I have like 2,000 followers, you know, like now. I'm talking about when I only had like 1,100, and people were inboxing me and asking me questions, and I was like, whoa, this is really happening. I'm talking about, you have like 100,000 followers. You're bothering me, like you're taking the time out to ask me a question. So I was like, okay, well, I guess there's a reason for me to be doing this, and people see purpose. So why not? Why shouldn't I see purpose also, and quality? Yeah, you're right, because I believe quality is everything. So those are things that, you know, continue to motivate me to want to do this, because I realize that, you know, people are going to believe in you regardless of how high up they are or how low they are. If they find purpose, so.
Do it. So I know we're all about woman empowerment.
Yeah. So
do you think that women should come together more so to support one another rather than stay in competition with one another? Okay. Before she answers this, yes, you have competition out there, but what I mean is, you know, focusing on trying to make the other person look bad, or trying to just stay in competition with them, like you're always sleeping and thinking of the other person and how they're doing it rather than you doing yourself. So I feel like, you know, what you're doing is great. So you feel like woman supporting women is more effective than actually trying to compete with one another?
To elaborate on what you said, healthy competition is always good. You know,
exactly.
If you have someone that's doing something to the level that you feel that's at your level, you're always going to want to compete with that person. But that doesn't mean that you can't help that person. I have people on my Instagram page that I know and I speak to. They're doing their own events, and they're getting the people in, and they're doing it at their own standard, and they're doing it well. Whether or not I've collaborated with them, if I know that there's a specific vendor that I've worked with, and I feel like if that vendor can benefit also, I'll tag them in. Yeah. You know, and they've said to me, that's big of you, because people don't do that.
Exactly.
We live in a state or a city that has about 2.8 million people and still growing. I can never get 2.8 million people to buy into what I'm doing. You know, I might be able to get 100,000 people, but I'm never going to get 2.8 million. So why am I going to keep it to myself? Not because the shirt doesn't look right on me, it's not going to look right on you. So why not, you know, spread the love and spread the ideas and spread the wealth and whatever we could do, especially if it's helping, you know, other black women in society, like in our community. It serves no purpose if it's just being kept to yourself.
That's awesome. So what does success mean to you then?
Success means being able to wake up in the morning and feel like you did something. You made use of the day. Success means to me, you wrote out a list of all the things that you wanted to accomplish. Maybe you might have not accomplished 3/4 of them, but there's certainly things that you could have crossed off. Success even looks like failure to me, because failure drives you and it motivates you to want to become better and do something better. So even if on my list there was 2 things that I failed at, it might have pushed me to do 3 more things even better. So like, success is just how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. Do you feel like you accomplished something? Do you feel like if you served your purpose well, like you made a difference in your world, I have a daughter, 13 years old. Am I making her want to be like me, or just have her own thing in this world? Like, whatever she wants to do, am I empowering her to say, well, my mom found her purpose, what she loved to do, she put it out there, am I able to do that also? So that's what success, really looks like to me.
And I like asking this question, and I love every answer I get, because a lot of people think success is just about money, and it's not. It's not all about dollars. Yes, it's good. Money's good. But I'm not saying it's not.
No.
But it's not just about money. Success means so much more. And if you just focus on just trying to achieve your goals, and like she said, living your purpose, you'll be happy, and all the money will come to you.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. It's the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. Whatever you go after, it'll happen eventually. So
exactly. So just to reiterate what you said earlier about the future of BK Girls Night Out. I love saying BK Girls Night Out. Tell us about, again, the upcoming events that we should look out for.
So for the final event for 2016 is the gift shop event. That's where I've taken like 8 vendors. The last one I had 25. This one I'm only doing 8. It's at my home base, which is 333 Lounge on Flatbush Avenue.
Okay.
I'm gonna be doing it there. I have the gift shop, 8 vendors. We're doing Toys for Tots, so people are gonna be able to. We ask for donations for people to come in. We have Spread Humanity campaign. They're going to be collecting the toys on site for the kids. They work with homeless families, so hopefully we drive in enough traffic, or people still go out on their website and donate, because they might have seen it from my postings. And then for 2017, we have a workshop that I'm working on with my best friend, which is going to be understanding you. And it's just going to incorporate tips for that person who's still in the corporate world, that is trying to understand where she fits in, and just understanding different levels that people might not be telling you about.
Yes.
And then I have my Shades of Beauty, which is going to be my runway event, and vendors again. And then a pop-up dinner, hopefully in the summer, with Brooklyn Commons. So there's quite a few things in the works.
I'm excited. Lead Magazine, we know we have to make it out to some of these events.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Besides all of this awesomeness, what do you do in your downtime? So you have downtime, you relaxing. What do you like to do?
I am pretty simple. Funny thing, detail about me, as much as I love fashion, I hate clothes. So when I'm at home, I'm like in the simplest possible thing, and then I'm like, okay, well, if I'm gonna wear it, it's gonna look good. So I'll be out, shopping, trying to find little deals here and there sometimes. If not, I'm traveling. I just after my October event, I had me and my boyfriend, we got up and we left, and we went to St. Martin the very next day. So I do a lot of traveling. I have my vacation and my momcation.
My
momcation, where I take my daughter somewhere. She hates it, but she'll love it, eventually when she gets older. But it just gives me time to, just spend with her and myself. And we just, do different things. Or I have my mom and my sister, my niece. And then I'll just be at home, chilling with my friends or on the phone. It's just very, very simple. Nothing, I would love to say I live this life where I'm like traveling 24. No. I'm at home.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm at home.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. If you saw my Instagram last night, I was baking cookies. And
I saw it. I was kind of hoping she was going to bring it. I was like, oh, because if she bring these cookies.
Yeah.
So, but next time. But I'm so happy I got my shirt. So I'm satisfied.
That's what I do. I'm like, simple, we got the KitchenAid at a Black Friday sale, and we, my daughter's like, so when are we using this? And I'm like, I'm gonna let him. And then we just decided last night to make cookies because we had all of the ingredients. And then, yeah, that's what we do. Like, and we play music in the house and dance around and have a good time. No, that's fun.
I love it. I love it. And then you bring your personality into your business, and it shows because you connect with everyone, you make everyone feel good, and that's just great. Yeah. So, what do you have? What I guess motivational words you can say to aspiring young adults who want to come out and either be their own boss or tell their own story?
I would just say, whatever you feel like doing, do it. If you fail at it, reanalyze it, refocus, figure out where you went wrong, and try to rework it. Because if you don't do that and you stop and you tell yourself that you're done, then you never know what the outcome will be.
Yeah.
So just always reanalyze, refocus, listen, get feedback, and then from there you'll know what your next step is. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming here. This is not the last time we're seeing you, right? No,
okay,
no. Definitely not.
Well, thank you so much for coming. And like I said, I was excited to do this interview because I was so interested in her story. Like, although I'm interviewing her, like, she motivates me, to just listen to this and not everyone can just tell their story, and not everyone can do their own platform doing it. A lot of people look other ways to do it, and to just okay, I need to go here to tell my story, or this person's not letting me. I'm trying to, get on this blog. I'm trying to get on that magazine and this magazine. They're not letting me. No, create it yourself. And that's exactly what she did,
No one's going to create it. You have to create it yourself. Yeah. Exactly. Or you be living their dream.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Look at her spitting gems. All right, so well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for another exclusive interview with Leading with Lee magazine. I'm your host, Lee Whetstone. This is Shinese B, BK Girls Night Out, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.